next item.
C, approve the July 10th, 2024 meeting minutes.
Can I get a motion for approval of the meeting minutes?
We have a motion by Commissioner Garza and support by Commissioner Colleen.
All right, any discussion on the meeting minutes? Hearing none, please vote on your tablet.
Motion carried.
Next item.
Item 1, under unfinished business, discussion with the representative from the prosecutor's office, Fraud and Corruption Investigation Unit per section 73.3A15 of the Fraud Investigation Policy regarding conferring semi-annually with the Committee on Audit regarding completed investigations and recommended improvements to the policy and county fraud control systems.
Good morning, Madam Chair
Go
and
ahead.
members of the committee. We very much appreciate allowing us to put this over since our fraud and corruption investigator was ill for the last meeting. We're here this morning. I'm Tony Guerrero, Chief of Legislation, Grants, and Community Relations for the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. We're here because under Section 73-3, subparagraph 15, the Wayne County Fraud and Corruption Investigation Unit shall confer semi-annually with the Audit Committee pursuant to the Open Meetings Act regarding completed investigations and recommended improvements in this policy and county fraud. I pass over to you, J.B. Bivens, the Fraud and Corruption Investigator for the Prosecutor's Office.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is James A. Bivens Jr. I'm the Director of the Fraud and Corruption Unit. First, let me apologize for missing last week, the 10th meeting. I became ill and circumstances beyond my control occurred, and again, I apologize for missing it. Right now, I have one investigation. I cannot speak to the investigation in total because it's still ongoing. I can tell you it involved the Indigent Defense Department Services. It involves 2 attorneys, probably more, and it involves the state's funds to that particular department. I can also tell you that my investigation is complete, but the investigation in total is not. I did send the investigation up to the Attorney General's office, State Attorney General's office, and they declined to take the case. They couldn't give it the time that it deserved. So it's back with us right now, and we're looking at the next steps. I will be talking to the Auditor General about things that need to be done in terms of the system that caused the problem in the first place. Again, I can't give you specifics. Sorry. Moving on to another subject. If you have any questions regarding the investigation that I can answer, I'll answer.
Commissioner Colleen.
Thank you. And with your statement, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. The attorneys involved, attorneys that work for the county in the indigent?
No, they do not work for the county.
Or attorneys that would be taking cases or whatever.
Right.
The system call them appointees for various cases.
They get appointed to take cases.
Yes,
okay.
They're compensated by county funds.
That's all I need to know for now.
There's a system that the IDSD uses to vet the attorneys, and then they go on the list, and they're chosen from that list according to their capabilities.
Exactly. Yeah. New set of criteria to take an indigent case these days. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. All right, we can move on.
Any other questions regarding that? Okay, I do have a couple other things. In the policy itself, there is an email address, and it's, I don't know, I'm sure everybody's aware now that we have like 3 domains. The very first domain is in the policy. It still works. and it will continue to work unless something occurs that would not. However, it will seamlessly move to the second or third domain. Right now, we're on waynecounty.gov. Before that, it was waynecounty.com, and before that, it was Wayne County, co.wayne.mi.us. But they all still work. I think that's all at this point.
Any questions? No, okay.
That's it.
All right,
Okay.
thank you very much for joining
You're
us.
welcome. Yeah, and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Item 1, under new business, forwarding a final copy of the Office of Legislative Auditor General's Financial Assessment Limited Review Report for the Wayne County Sewage Disposal System's audited financial statements for the fiscal year ended September 30, 2023.
Next, do we have guests from the environment? Yes, okay, good. Okay, if they could introduce themselves for the record.
Sure.
Microphone on. You have to press the.
They'll turn green.
All right. Jessica Kenyon, Assistant Division Director for DPS Finance.
Okay, Marcy Coro, Auditor General. What you have before you, the first and second item, these are the final 2 financial assessment limited review reports for the for the standalone financial statements for the fiscal year ended September 30th, 23. The first one is the sewage disposal system, and I will turn it over to the audit team. They'll introduce themselves, John Kellett and Andrew Ray.
John Kellett, Audit Manager.
Andrew Ray, Supervisory Auditor. The Wayne County sewage disposal systems include the Rouge Valley Sewage Disposal System and combined sewer overflow basins, collectively referred to as the systems. The systems are presented as enterprise funds in the county's annual comprehensive financial report. The external auditor's report can be found on page 2 of the OAG's report. Plant Moran, PLLC, the independent external auditor, issued an unmodified opinion on the sewage disposal system financial statements for the fiscal year ended September 30th, 2023. The opinion stated that the information for the sewage disposal systems as of September 30th, 2023 is fairly stated in all material respects in relation to the county's basic financial statements as a whole. Sewage disposal management has omitted the management's discussion and analysis that accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America requires to be presented to supplement the basic financial statements. The auditor's opinion on the basic financial statements is not affected by the missing information. The OAG's assessment can be found on page 3 of the OAG's report. We concluded that generally the audited financial statements and other supplementary information appear complete and thorough. However, our review of the report content noted the following. Total assets as of September 30th, 2023 were $117.1 million, primarily due to a decrease in pooled cash and investments of $1 million, an increase in receivables of $4.6 million, and a decrease in capital assets net of depreciation. Total liabilities increased $8.4 million due to an increase of $5.2 million in accounts and contracts payable and $3.2 million increase in long-term debt. Net position increased by approximately $2.9 million due to operating revenues exceeding operating expenses by approximately $600,000, plus investment income, collections from local units, and federal grant revenue of $2.3 million. Cash and investments, which can be found on page 3 of the OAG's report. For the year ended September 30th, 2022, the system's pooled cash and investments deposited in the county treasurer's internal cash management pool were $16.6 million. This amount decreased $1 million to $15.6 million for the year ended September 30th, 2023. Restricted assets. The system's restricted assets are composed of receivables from local units of $1.8 million and $1.9 million as of September 30th, 2023 and 2022, respectively. Long-term debt and other obligations can be found on page 4 of the OAG's report. As of September 30th, 2023, total long-term debt and other obligations totaled $13.6 million. The sewage disposal system primarily issues 2 types of bonds. First are the general obligation bonds, for which the county has pledged its limited tax full faith and credit for repayment. These bonds are primarily payable from the proceeds received from the respective community. The principal balance outstanding for these bonds was approximately 1.8 million as of September 30th, 2023. Next are revenue bonds, which are secondarily secured by the limited tax, full faith, and credit pledge of the county. These bonds are primarily payable from the charges for sewage disposal services assessed against the communities. The principal balance outstanding for these bonds was approximately 11.8 million as of September 30th, 2023. Our conclusion and recommendation can be found on page 4 of our, of the OAG report. Based on our limited review, nothing came to our attention that caused us to believe the financial report, including the audited financial statements of the sewage disposal systems, are not presented in conformity with generally accepted generally accepted accounting principles. It is our recommendation that the OAG's financial assessment limited review report of the sewage disposal systems financial statements for fiscal year ended September 30th, 2023, be forwarded to the Wayne County Commission for receiving and filing. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, discussion on these items? Okay. Oh, do you, Commissioner Colleen? I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
We were off this for so long.
I know. You're sitting there with two screens. in
Yep.
front of you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I note in the Auditor General's report that the Governmental Accounting Standards Boards requires a management discussion and analysis to come along, and that was omitted in this case, and I'm going to raise this in the next one too. We don't seem to be get MD&As from these what do you call them, satellite,
Standalones.
sorry?
Standalones.
Yeah, from these other component units of the county. So, Madam Auditor General, what is the use of a management discussion and analysis document? How is that used?
They're primarily for the users of the financial statement to give them additional information on the component unit.
Is that also true for people that are reading
Yes.
this
all
document?
readers of the
that may
financial
not be
statements. Right.
in the county, but folks outside the county that have an interest here?
Correct. All readers of the financial statements.
So who's responsible for doing a management discussion and analysis letter?
It would be the preparers of the financial statement. And as I indicated at the last meeting regarding the building authority, I'm going to work with Yogesh Goswami, the Deputy Chief Financial Officer, to see if we can get the MD&As completed for all the component units that currently do not have them.
Is the intent for next year's audit to have that?
Yes, for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2024.
Because it wasn't brought up here, but on some of these component units, the management discussion analysis letter is uniformly not there.
Right.
And hasn't been for years. You didn't mention it here, but the other one is, and we talked about it last time, is having a budget that they're required to have. Is the system required to have a budget?
The sewage disposal system is part of the county's financial statement, so it would be part of the county's budget.
That's where their budget.
Correct.
Okay, that's why. All right, they're not asking for it here. But I'm glad to hear you're working on it, and I want to send a strong message that to management and budget that they're required for a reason. And I think it would be helpful not only to commissioners, but other people reading these reports. There's so much in an MD&A letter that really gets into the nuts and bolts of what's going on. So I guess I look forward to seeing those in a year, but they're required. We just need to be doing them.
Correct.
So thank you, Madam Chair.
Anyone else? Okay, we have a motion to receive and file from Commissioner Garza and a support by Commissioner Colleen. If there's no further discussion, please vote on your tablets.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next item,
Item 2, forwarding a final copy of the Office of Legislative Auditor General's Financial Assessment Limited Review Report for the Wayne County Detroit Community Development Entity, Inc. audited financial statements for the fiscal year ended August 31st, 2023.
Marcy?
Marcy Coro, Auditor General. Again, this is Wayne County Detroit Community Development Entity audited financial statements for the fiscal year ending August 31st, 2023. We do have representatives from the Economic Development Department here. They can introduce themselves. And I also believe Wanda Taylor and Michael Bridges, the Director of Finance Reporting, are online, so they can introduce themselves if they are too.
Hi, good morning. DeLorean Holmes, Economic Vitality Division Director.
Lucius Anthony, Assistant Director of Economic Vitality.
Good morning, Wanda Taylor, Vision Director for Finance for MNB for Economic Vitality.
Good morning, Michael Bridges, Division Director of Financial Reporting, MNB.
Welcome.
I'm going to turn over to John Kellen, who'll go through the presentation.
Thank you. John Kellett, Audit Manager. For our report, the company received an unmodified opinion on the audited financial statements for the year ended from Allen C. Young and Associates, PC, the external auditor for the county. The auditors noted under other matters within the report that management omitted management's discussion and analysis and budgetary comparison schedule that GAAP requires be present to supplement the financial statements. However, the auditor's opinion on the basic financial statements is not affected by this missing information. I'll go through some of the financial results very quickly, starting on page 3 of the report. Total assets of the corporation, these comprised of almost entirely cash bank deposits. These decreased during the year ended August 31, 2023 from 2022 by just over 25,000 or 0.5%. This was primarily due to a decrease in loan fund receivables in connection with the county's small business microloan program. Total liabilities of the corporation, these comprised of almost entirely a $2 million loan from the county in 2020. These slightly increased during the year ended by $4,000 or 0.2%. This was entirely due to an increase in accrued liabilities. Total net position unrestricted of the corporation decreased from 2022 to 2023 by just over 29,000 or 1.1%. This was primarily due to a decrease in loan fund receivables in connection with the county's small business microloan program. There were no reported operating revenues for the 2 years ended in 2023 and 2022. Prior to fiscal year 2023, the company had already allocated its entire $77 million NMTC authority to the subsidiaries. During fiscal year 2020, the last subsidiary allocations were unwound, and the company received the payments associated with the unwinds. This explains why there were no reported operating revenues for the past 2 years. The partial operating revenue of the proprietary funds are fees for services provided to the subsidiary allocatees. As there are no more subsidiary allocations, no fees were charged, and therefore there was no related revenue reported during 2023. So in conclusion, based on our limited review, nothing came to our attention that caused us to believe that the financial report, including the audited financial statements of the Wayne County Detroit Community Development Entity, are not presented in conformity with generally accepted accounting principles. It is our recommendation that the OAG's Financial Assessment Limited Review Report is forwarded to the Wayne County Commission for receipt and filing. Thanks.
Thank you. Does the department have anything to add? You don't have to.
Director of Economic Development, Hustle Shake, not at this current time.
Any questions from commissioners? Commissioner Kling.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And good morning.
Good morning.
And I will repeat what I did at the last one, management discussion, analysis, budgets. This has been around for 20 years or so. How much county general fund dollars have gone into this entity?
We can look into that for you and get you a number over 20 years. Off the top of our heads, we would have to do an analysis over 20 years and we can
Yeah.
get you that information.
And, you know, looking at the microloan program, new market tax credits, but a lot of money goes through 77 million in new market tax credits, something like that, or is that low? Yes. So what I'm looking for is, who have we been loaning money to? I took careful note of your 501c3 status to do things like revitalize low-income communities, create community economic and service programs that will assist redevelopment of low-income neighborhoods, blah, 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 all down the line. But I have no idea whether that's happening or not. I see dollars, but I don't see this is who we lent it to, what are our criteria, that sort of thing. And so both for the microloan and the new market, who's getting the new market tax credits, right? And what, because ultimately it's the county that are supporting these efforts. And so, can we receive, I wouldn't imagine it would take long, a report on, maybe we'll go for a 1 year of activity of, you know, probing into 18 years ago, I don't know. But just the activity and who the tax credits have been going to and who's getting the microloans. Because if we are doing good stuff out there, then everybody should know.
Agreed. So we can put that together for you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I would love to see that. I've always, especially about new market tax credits, I've been a little bit more than curious about that. But the microloans as well. So, all righty. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sorry about that. Okay, any other questions on this? Okay. Okay, let's, so our motion, so there's a motion to receive and file by Commissioner Garza, supported by Commissioner Colleen. No further discussion. Please vote on your tablets.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I have none. Next item.
G, public comments.
Oh, it's just kidding. Marcy, please.
I just wanted to make the committee aware that at the meeting on August 24th, we will be presenting our budget sensitive report, which is this report that we present to the Committee on Ways and Means when they kick off the budget season. So we'll also be presented to the committee at that time.
Yes. And I guess I do have something. Our August 7th meeting, we've decided to postpone. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. August 7th will be postponed. Okay. Any other? Okay, we're back to public comments. Is there anyone who wishes to make a public comment to the Committee on Audit? If you're in person or on the phone or on Zoom, please unmute yourself. Any emails?
No emails.
Okay. Public comments, second call. And last call for public comments. Hearing none, next item, please.
Adjournment.
So moved.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.